And welcome everyone to another edition of Magic Paws Squad. The draft coverage continues. It's presented by Advent Health, and it is our pleasure to officially welcome the 8th overall draft pick here in 2021, Franz Wagner. Kind enough to join us. Man, this has been a whirlwind, I'm sure, for you the last couple hours, the last couple days and weeks. Just kind of take us through the emotions and what it's been like for you here the last day or two.
Yeah, thanks for having me, first of all. No, it's been definitely a crazy journey. Starting like end of May, all the pre-draft stuff, starting out in LA and just working on my game. And then in July, I started working out for some teams, including Orlando. So I kind of know the facilities already a little bit. And obviously draft week really was just crazy. So many meetings and interviews behind the scenes that I didn't know about before. So it was definitely exciting. I tried to take it all in, and when my name got called, I was obviously really excited.
You can relate to it, Jeff, but having your name called and your dream realized, you're now an NBA player. You have a team. You know where you're going to be. I mean, it's got to be, to this point, everything you'd hoped for, right?
Oh, for sure. It feels kind of weird, like it hasn't really hit home yet that it actually happened, but maybe in a week or so when I look back on the pictures and the videos, maybe it'll hit home for me.
You know, Magic fans know your brother. We saw him with the ball club this year. They know what kind of game your brother has. Sort of compare and contrast you as a basketball player with your older brother, Mo.
I think we play similarly on offense, I'd say. Just there's a little difference. He's just a little bigger and plays as a big guy. So I always played on the perimeter really all my life. But just like Mo, I think I can dribble well for my size, can shoot real well from the outside, and also make decisions with the ball and make plays in the lane. And I think I'm versatile on the court. I think I can play defense, guard multiple guys on the court, and also off the ball. I think I'm really good trying to be an effective player without the ball, because obviously guys like Cole or RJ on this team, you need guys that can play without the ball too. So hope I can bring that to the team.
I saw you grew a couple of inches between your freshman and sophomore year.
Oh,
Is that right?
Yeah, for sure.
So you come back after your freshman year at Michigan and you're a couple inches taller. Are you still growing?
I might be still growing a little bit, but yeah, that summer, because it was the whole COVID pause too, so nobody saw me for like 3-4 months, and I came back to campus. I was like, yeah, you definitely grew. So yeah. Maybe a little bit more. I don't know.
It's funny. Everybody in the office had that reaction when they saw me come through last night, because they hadn't seen me in about like 12 or 13 months.
Well,
and
they
they're
thought you shrunk.
No, it was width. It was more width. They said, well, they're like, oh, George, you look good. Like you look good. You look different. You look different. Yeah, that's what.
So I guess the follow-up to David's question then, since we know your brother Mo and everything. If there is a one-on-one competition between the two, I'm guessing Mo would say he would take you because he's older. Do you have an answer for that one?
I mean, I'll always take me in a one-on-one.
Has that happened?
I mean, not for a while. It's been a while since we played. I think, we might fight or something like that because we're really competitive.
Parents won't let him have it. Let him do it.
Yeah,
Brothers who fight? Really?
Yeah. It's like I hate losing against anybody, but against Mo is like the end of the world. So no, really definitely a fun matchup for sure.
He's fun on Twitter. He doesn't pull any punches. I mean, I find it downright mean at times.
Yeah.
Some of the things.
Yeah,
you guys have a great relationship, doesn't it?
Oh, for sure. I mean, that's just all fun and games, like on social media and stuff. But no, I saw a video like him watching the draft in Tokyo. He's playing for Germany, and that was really the coolest part of the night for me. Seeing him, how happy it was.
How helpful since Mo has gone through the process, how helpful was he to you? With you leading up to that, how helpful was it to have? I mean, not everybody has a brother that has gone through it. I mean, you're lucky enough to have that in your hip pocket.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it was definitely really helpful going into like the visits and stuff with the teams, what I can expect from the workouts and from the meetings and what people are really looking for. Like what he told me, really, they know your game. It's more about what kind of guy are you and how you push through adversity in these workouts. So that's what I focused on when I prepared for them, and I think it worked out really well.
Franz, you've played against grown men since you were a kid, right? 16, 17 years old, playing overseas. What did that experience? Just kind of tell us about your journey a little bit. I fell in love with the game of basketball, playing, in professional leagues before you came to college.
Yeah, well, I started playing when I was 7, and I started because Mo was playing. So I was that little brother that just wanted to do what his big brother's doing. So I went through all the youth program of Alba Berlin, which is my hometown team. And yeah, then I was lucky enough to play with the pros for almost 2 years, which was obviously so cool for me. It's like I grew up watching those guys in that arena my whole life, and then to be in that situation was really cool for me. And I got a lot better in those 2 years, I thought. And that was a dream come true, playing in front of my hometown fans. And like I said, I learned so much. Yeah.
I think it's interesting. You were asked this last night about your journey a little bit, and for most people, I think that you watch guys come up, and so it's high school basketball, and there's AAU, and then you go to college. When you're in Europe, it's a little bit different. Kind of explain to our listeners that whole club mentality, where it's not really your school, it's a club. It happened to be in your hometown.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, you don't play for your high school, you play for a club, for any club in the city or wherever you want to play. So I was lucky enough to stay with the same club for, since I was 7, but a lot of people jump around depending on the situation and stuff. But yeah, I think there's advantages and disadvantages to everything. Playing for your school, I think there's a different connection to the fans and obviously to the students and stuff. So that's where I really wanted to go to college too. But no, I think it was really cool for me to stay with the same club my whole life until I went to Michigan, and kind of see the people that have helped me throughout the journey. They never really changed. So that was really cool for me. But it's definitely a lot different. You go to your school and you have your friends there, and after school you go to practice and there's a whole nother group of people. So it's definitely a different experience.
Anytime I see a couple of brothers who play any sport at an elite level like you and Mo, the Holiday brothers, there are some brothers, the Lopezes.
Adekumbos.
Yeah, the Adekuma, unbelievable. There's 4 more still coming in the pipeline. But I always think I'm always curious. What is that upbringing like? What were some of the keys? I know your mom is a
Suicides
professional.
at age 5, David.
No.
Suicides start right out of the room. Before pre-K, they go right to suicide.
Your mom is a journalist?
Yes.
And your dad, they're professional people in Germany. Tell us about your home life. How you guys were raised.
Yeah, so it's actually really unique. So my parents met around like in the 90s, early 90s, which was right after the wall came down in Germany. That split the country in the east and west. And my mom grew up on the west side and my dad on the east side, which is really rare. Normally, couples from that time, they grew up in the same area. So East and West Germany were really different, very different political systems. And so we learned from early on kind of like to have an open mind and to see things, objectively and not just judge them right the first second, really, and that there's always good and bad in every situation. And they're athletic and played sports growing up, but never professionally, my parents. And they met in college and university. I went to study medicine together, and that's how they met. And there was always like a competitive spirit in the family, I'd say. But it was never like, oh, you have to play sport or you have to, push yourself every day. Like a lot of kids in Germany, especially because there isn't really high school basketball or anything like that. They just, go to school and maybe have a job or plan for something else. But once I picked up the ball, at least for me, and I think for Mo was the same thing, it was like there's a passion here that you can't really replicate somewhere else.
So how was your transition coming to the States? I mean, you were in Germany, obviously, all that time, and then you come over to the States. How was that transition for you? And then now you're transitioning to the professional ranks here in the NBA.
Yeah, for me it was important to have an experience off the court that I wouldn't have had if I stayed in Germany and signed a professional contract. So I wanted to learn a new culture and get to know new people, and also people that don't have anything to do with basketball. So that's really why I went to college. For me, the transition wasn't too difficult just because of Mo, and I already knew some people on the staff and at Michigan on campus. But for him, I think it was a lot.
Was it tougher? Was it a lot tougher for Mo to go through?
Yeah, I mean, he was just all by himself. Really had to get really situated all by himself, and I already knew half of the staff. So it was definitely an adjustment, obviously, but living so far from home. But I mean, in Michigan on campus, everybody's so helpful. I was really situated really early.
You know, I would imagine Juwan Howard, and you asked him last night, what a great fit for you, right? A guy that played the game, coached the game, and I would think you made that transition.
But he didn't recruit you, right?
So Beeline recruited me first,
right.
And then once Beeline left, Juwan called me once he got the job, which was like a week or two after. So,
but how did that help you? What did he teach you? What kind of stories did he tell, or tips did he give you? How did he help you grow your game?
I mean, he's like everything that he says, like you just automatically listen as a young player, just because he's played where you want to get to, and for so long, which is so hard to do. He was in the league like 19 years, so then he coached there after. So I think that itself was, for everybody on the team, was really cool to have someone like that. You can just talk to. He's such a cool guy. He always had an open door policy where you can just jump in his office and just talk about whatever, really. And he's big on habits. Like that's the one thing I would say. Like he taught you how to be a professional, although we weren't in college really. And you know, just how you go about your things every day, your habits that you do every day, they have to align with where you want to get in life. And that's kind of my mantra. That's what I try to do every day.
I mentioned to you last night, I had an opportunity, to spend a lot of time watching game film, and obviously because you guys were a top 5 team most of the year, watching a lot of your games through the year. And what's interesting to me is, not all, but Juwan, I thought, did a great service to his players. He ran a lot of pro sets, a lot of things that you're going to see as you move on into your NBA career. Do you look at that and realize how beneficial that was for you?
Oh, for sure. That was, like, I asked him when we talked before I committed, like, what kind of style do you want to play? And he pretty much said, like, I'm from the NBA, so we're going to play like an NBA team. So the offense is really similar. I think a lot of, like, quick hitters and just quick type actions. And the defense is really similar too. We played drop coverage the whole year, really. Had NBA terminology in our practices, and I hope that will help once I get here in practice.
I think that's a tough transition a lot of times for guys coming out of college, because the language and how quick things move, and so I think there's a lot of coaches that are former NBA players now stepping down into the college level, and I think we've seen, at least last year I saw a few that really benefited. It can pick up NBA things very quickly, so I think that's a bonus for you.
Yeah, for sure.
What do you know about the Magic? Mo played here late in the year. What do you know about the organization? What do you know coming in about the players that you'll be joining? How do you feel like you fit with the current roster?
I think I fit very well. I think there's a lot of young talent. I think there was kind of like a transitional period where the Magic were, in the playoffs, but barely, and kind of like in that middle set in the Eastern Conference. So
then there were 7 years we weren't in the playoffs.
Yeah,
That was hard. So we like the playoffs better.
Why?
So
I have PTSD as it is over here. What are you doing?
But I guess, like, compared to some other franchises, like, it's been 12 years since the finals appearance was. So I think everyone, like you guys said, like, you guys have been here for a bunch of years, and so people that are here, they know how that feels. So I think that can be really important when you have a young group like we do, to be able to have some people on staff and stuff that have been there and know what it feels like to build something special.
Now, our equipment manager, Jacob Diamond, told me you're going to wear 21.
Yeah.
Which is what Mo's number was at the end of the year. And obviously Mo's a free agent, so we don't know if Mo will be back. But if Mo does come back to Orlando, is there going to be a fight for the jersey?
Honestly,
how's this going to work out? Because I got told two different things last night. I was initially told, okay, Mo will take 25, or Franz will take 25. No, never mind. He's going to take 21. And that got me thinking, maybe you guys got something going on.
Here's what I texted Jacob. If Mo doesn't come back, I'm taking 21. Just because, I always took Mo's numbers, really, because there's like a connection there, obviously.
All right, that's nice. That's nice. Keep it
as
in
the
the
rookie and as the younger brother, will be the only thing I do as his younger brother on the team. I would give him his number, honestly.
So you'll switch back. So if Mo does come back, you will.
If that
you
isn't
will,
too much work on Jacob's part, I would be willing
or
to do
you
that.
guys just play 1-on-1 and settle it, and whoever
We
wins
can do
gets
that too.
21.
Hey,
we could do
like
that.
I just said, we can do that
You're
too.
the higher draft pick, so I think
point, good
he's
point.
got to pay for it.
We could go lots of
That's the
different
way it
ways.
works.
There's a lot of there's
He's
a
got
lot
to
of
pay
ways
for
you
that
go.
number if he wants it.
That's
You know,
fine.
we don't like player comparisons, and we don't do it because we don't think it's fair to guys coming out of the league, right? So you're going to be your own guy. Was there anyone you patterned your game after? Did you have a favorite player or a role model? I know your brother obviously played a big part in that. But.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like everybody coming up, obviously I watched like the big time players. I watched Dirk a bunch, D Wade a bunch when I was growing up, KD, LeBron, but I'm not going to say that I play like these guys. Like, I feel like you take some things from everybody. I just try to be as complete as I can be, honestly, work on everything. I think it's going to be really important for me how I can hit my shot this next season, and yeah, hopefully improve in all areas, really get stronger a little bit, be a better defender, and you know, make some decisions maybe with the ball, but all that takes time. I just hope to be the best player I can be one day.
You told us before we started taping that you were in school right up, going to class right up until the draft, I guess, or
Really,
through
yeah.
the spring. Academics are obviously really important to you. You were all Big Ten academic, maybe all-American academic as far as I know. Do you plan on finishing out college academically? You plan to get a degree?
Yeah, I definitely do. I still have to figure out my major, just because the one I wanted to do will be a little bit tricky if I'm not on campus.
Which is?
I wanted to do organizational studies, which is a really new major at Michigan. They only accept like 40 students a year, so it was really hard to get in for me. But you kind of learn.
That Franz Wagner library will help too. Right?
Maybe.
All of a sudden,
one
Franz
day.
is in the program. No big deal. All
Maybe
good.
one day. Maybe
All
one day.
It'll help make that happen.
That's funny. No, you kind of learn how to start a business or really any organization or a nonprofit and stuff like that. And I think kind of leaning on the responsibility I think that you have as an NBA player is to make an impact on any communities really that need it. So I think that major would have helped me a lot, but there's a lot of other good majors that
Well, it sounds like you plan on being a big part of this community
Yeah,
based on that philosophy.
Here, also back home in Germany, I think there's so many things that you can do that help people improve their lives and stuff like that. I mean, I just got drafted. I still have some things to figure out for myself, but I'm eager to
You got to get unpacked first, and then you can. Then you
We'll,
can
we'll,
save
gi-
it.
we'll give you like a month. We'll give you like a month to
go
get
down
settled,
that
maybe
road.
get an apartment or something.
No, but that's definitely something like I want to explore. Like how can I help people out?
I think about this. Oh, sorry, JT, but I think about this roster, right? And you've got young guys on this team. You got guys that are going to handle the basketball the majority of the time, and you'll have your moments. You'll score and you'll dominate the ball as well. But the way you play and the way you see the floor and the way you facilitate and set up teammates, the way you defend, you seem to have an overall great feel for the game of basketball, right? Do you feel like you're going to be I know you mentioned you feel you're a great fit here, but how do you feel you complement kind of some of the guys on this team?
Yeah, like I said earlier, I mean, drafting Jalen, who's a very dynamic player and had the ball a bunch in college. Cole is really the same way, and RJ Hampton the same way. I think just thinking of those three guys, I think they can do so many things with the ball. I think it's important to spread the floor and make things easier for them. I hope I can be one of the guys that does that. Also, I think I have qualities with the ball in my hands, but I think one thing that I pride myself on is being an effective player wherever I am on the court. And sometimes that is like cutting and getting another teammate open with a screen or something like that. And I think those little things impact winning just as much as scoring a bunch.
Sure, absolutely.
Because obviously, several months have passed since you've decided to make the decision to come out of college and try to start your NBA career. While you were taking classes in the other part of the time, what kind of things were you working on from a game standpoint? What do you see as some areas that you've really got to get better in as a player?
Well, there was a combination like April and May where I was like kind of working on my stuff, but also preparing for the pre-draft process. So, like I said earlier, shooting is going to be really important. Just making sure I'm more consistent. I shot it really inconsistent this past year, But I think I can shoot a lot better than I did. So that was a big emphasis. Getting stronger. I was in the weight room a bunch, and obviously these are world-class athletes now, and everybody was a top guy in college. So I think there's a lot more athletic and faster guys in the NBA. So that'll be important for me. And then, like I said earlier, I think I can still improve on making decisions with the ball and creating off the dribble. I think if I can do that in the next couple of years, I think that would be really good for me.
You mentioned earlier, I didn't want to leave this out, but that Mo is in Tokyo with the German basketball team. Is that something that you look forward to doing at some point?
For sure. Especially, obviously, that's a great opportunity to play with Mo. And I haven't had the chance to really represent my country at the biggest stage, so that would definitely
Franz, give us a sense of what that means. Mo's playing well. He's playing great. He's a big part of that team, right? What does that mean to
that sense of
that sense of pride, right? I mean,
that's not unusual.
He's got to have a lot of people cheering him on back home.
Oh, for sure. I mean, for Americans, it's a little different. Like, people expect to be at the Olympic Games in basketball, but it's not like that in Germany. Like, this was a big deal making the tournament, making the Olympic Games. I think the last time was when Dirk played in 2008. So in Beijing, so that's a long time.
Yeah.
So I think just being there, being able to call himself an Olympian is a huge accomplishment, and for all of the guys, like there's guys on that team that have played 12 years and never been able to play there. So it's definitely a huge deal.
Do you guys have a relationship with Dirk? I mean, did he reach out to you?
He does. I haven't met Dirk. Hopefully we can do that in the future.
They were just waiting for you to get drafted. Now you can meet. That's it. You get
club.
drafted, and then now you can meet Dirk. That's how it goes.
That's what Dirk's waiting for. He's known for that. That's why
I'm surprised he wasn't waiting for you at the airport, to be honest. Say goodbye.
So what do you like? Let Orlando fans know who you are. Like, what do you like to do? Do you like to read, play video games? You cook? What are you into?
I do like to cook. I want to learn an instrument this next year. I know there's going to be a lot of like free time that I didn't have in college, so to fill that, I might want to learn an instrument. And other than that, I just like learning stuff and getting to know new stuff that I haven't seen before and exploring things. So I'm really excited to do that here.
Well, what instrument? I got to know what you're going to try.
I want to learn the piano. I think that'll be a good option.
You
that's
walk
good.
Into
that's
a
good
right?
because you can do. Most of the hotels have
right.
a piano
You can't
somewhere.
pick tuba.
It's better than bringing a saxophone to your room.
We had a
Don't
guy
do
that did that, and Dante just picked up the piccolo cornet, so he can show you how that works pretty well if you'd like to learn.
But you said I think I read somewhere you did everything on Netflix. Now you're cycling back through, right?
Yeah. And I'm a big like watching TV shows. Like just even during draft week, it was like just an hour. Like don't talk to me. Like I just want to.
What's your latest binge?
My latest, I just finished Game of Thrones, so I'm a little late on that. I love watching Entourage, which is like kind of an older show, but that would probably be my favorite one.
That's one of your favorites, isn't it, David?
Entourage. You're a big Entourage. I can see that. Well, just I guess parting thought, just final thoughts, just for the Magic fans here, just let them know what they can expect from you. We know you're a guy that works hard, plays hard, and you're going to leave it all out there on the floor every night. Just what would your message be to Magic fans?
Honestly, I just want to be a guy that fits in really well with the team, be known as a great teammate, someone that helps other people out, someone that's eager to learn every day and ask questions and just improve every day. I think if I have that mindset, I think that would be great for my development and also for the team.
Isn't that great, refreshing? George and I mailed it in 20 years ago.
20?
But that's nice. That's a great attitude. It's been a pleasure to talk to you. Great to meet you. Welcome to Orlando.
Thanks for having me. Thank you.
All right. Magic Pod Squad draft coverage presented by Advent Health.